We shall never know peace. At least when it comes to the WNBA space. It was this ad that Angel put out. And I don't know if this is part of a larger campaign where it's going to be similar themes in similar places. But because of where the WNBA All-Star game is, and because of who plays on the Indiana Fever in the home city of the WNBA All-Star game, it's going to raise some eyebrows.
Angel Reese walked into the spotlight like she was stepping onto a stage built in her honor, only to find that the lights had already dimmed. The crowd had left early and the crew was packing up. What made it all the more ironic was her belief that she could recreate the Caitlin Clark effect, not through her own talent or genuine appeal, but by merely staying close enough to bask in Clark's glow. As if proximity to greatness was the same as earning it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Baby goat versus baby giraffe. If you're riding with CC, let's get it. Angel, sweetie, stay humble. You're only staying relevant because you keep bringing up my girl Caitlin. You're out here with your Reebok billboard plastered all over Indiana talking about you're in her city. Stop it. CEC's not part of that trap talk. Don't try to force that narrative. That's not who she is. Never has been. If that's your lifestyle, that's on you, but don't drag Caitlin's name into it. The 2025 WNBA All-Star Weekend was meant to be Angel Reese's big breakout moment, a time to finally cast off the shadow of Caitlin Clark, or at least, that's what she believed. She had plans to launch her signature Reebok shoe, unveil her I'm in Your City campaign, and flip Caitlin's Indianapolis turf into her own personal stage. On paper, it all looked like a winning formula. But reality doesn't play favorites. Charisma can't be faked, and no brand can thrive on borrowed stardust. Ads hyping up the Angel Reese One shoe, with flashy names like Diamond Dust and Me Bounds, were everywhere. Reebok poured money into the campaign, aligning the launch with All-Star Weekend for maximum attention. But here's the thing about attention: you can't force it, and timing can break you. The launch was timed for when Reese would share the court with Caitlin Clark. The thinking was simple. If Clark plays, eyes follow. But Caitlin didn't play in Chicago. She didn't play in this game either. So Reebok banked everything on All-Star Weekend, banking on Clark's presence to fuel Reese's launch. The entire marketing gamble hinged on one flawed assumption: that Caitlin Clark being at the All-Star game would automatically draw massive crowds, and by extension, boost Reese's brand. Reese wasn't focused on captivating fans with her own skill set. She wagered everything on the idea that just sharing a court with Clark would be enough to elevate her image. She wasn't trying to be better. She wasn't even trying to be different. She just wanted to ride the wave that Clark had already created. That was obvious to everyone watching. Only one side of this so-called rivalry was clinging to it for dear life, milking it for relevance. And fate stepped in. Caitlin Clark was sidelined right before the break with a groin injury, leaving her to watch the game in street clothes. That absence stripped the WNBA's biggest event of its most magnetic figure. Clark has that rare ability to make even the dullest midweek game a national headline. Without her, the excitement fizzled. Honestly, isn't it time Angel Reese found a way to market herself without leaning on Clark? That viral moment they shared in college. Sure, it will be remembered. But Clark was already on her rise before that. If anything, it's Reese who's gained the most from the continued association, at least in terms of attention. And the numbers prove it. When Caitlin played in the 2024 All-Star Game, viewership hit a record-breaking 3.44 million. Wasn't just a game. It was a cultural event. 1 year later, with Clark benched, ratings sank to 2.19 million, a staggering 36% drop. And this was in Indianapolis, her backyard. An event designed to thrive off her energy collapsed the moment she wasn't on the court. To put it bluntly, a 36% drop is catastrophic. Last year's game drew over 3.4 million viewers. This year, barely above 2 million. While that might still seem impressive for a women's sporting event, it's a major letdown when you consider there were no other major sports competing for attention. All the WNBA's stars were present, including Reese, and still the buzz was gone. Fans weren't buying what the league was selling. Reese's entire All-Star campaign unraveled in front of her eyes. Even ticket scalpers couldn't cash in. The seats just didn't sell like they used to, not without Caitlin. When the All-Star game ratings were finally released, 4 letters summed it up perfectly. FAFO, fool around and find out. This is what the WNBA looks like without Caitlin Clark at center stage. Kathy Engelbert, this is your wake-up call. Clean up the officiating, tighten up league discipline, and have a serious conversation with your players. Because Reese's I'm in Your City campaign was more than a marketing misfire. It was a tone-deaf statement. She rolled into Indianapolis as if she were seizing the throne. But the queen wasn't even playing. That doesn't make you powerful. It makes you look like someone trying to steal the crown while no one's watching. Reese strutted around in promotional videos, shouting, "I'm in your city." She hit Instagram hard, throwing out phrases like, walk in your trap, take over your trap, but there was no trap. No opposition. No Caitlyn. No real moment to claim. Just hollow declarations and forced narratives. The whole thing became internet fodder. Commenters clapped back with jabs like, she can't sell a shoe without using Clark's name. And, more photographers than fans at this launch. When you celebrate a win over someone who wasn't even playing, it doesn't make you a champ, it makes you look desperate. This is supposed to be the WNBA's biggest night. The elite, the top-tier stars, all in one place. A'ja Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Breena Stewart, and yes, Angel meet to Reese. And yet, the get-in price for tickets dropped a brutal 48% from $121 to just $64 once. It was announced that Caitlyn Clark wouldn't be playing. That's not just market adjustment, that's market rejection. Reese had the city, the shoes, the campaign, everything was in place. But the moment fell flat, and it was a harsh reality check. Without Clark, the engine stalls. That pay us what you owe energy fizzled out. Without Caitlyn, the WNBA's ship doesn't just slow, it sinks. The league tried to spin the numbers. Look, 2025 did better than 2023. But nobody's fooled. They ignored the obvious 2024's viewership, blew everything else out of the water because of Clark. Her absence revealed the league's dependency on her. Even the Friday night contests, like the three-point shootout and skills challenge, pulled 1.32 million viewers, nearly double the prior year. And let's be honest, that wasn't because of Reese. That was still the Caitlyn Clark aftershock. People tuned in, hoping for a glimpse of the player who changed the game. Let's keep it real. There's no comparison between Angel and Caitlyn. Cece has a $28 million Nike deal. Nike trumps Reebok. And Angel, you once said Indianapolis was racist and dangerous, yet here you are, front and center. You could have watched from home, but no, you had to show up and try to hijack the spotlight. Stop linking Caitlyn to traps and street talk. She doesn't come from that world. The only trap she knows is a mousetrap. Let's not taint her name with narratives that don't fit. The truth is, Angel Reese misunderstood what makes someone a star. She saw Clark's sold-out Kobe 5 Pro Nike shoe, which vanished in under a minute and now resells for over $600 despite a $190 retail price, and thought she could duplicate that success. But she missed the most important part. Caitlyn Clark didn't just sell shoes, she sold a story, a connection, a moment. That's something Reese hasn't earned yet.